Good morning, Rampage family. Welcome back to Game 4 of the weekend. Currently, the Rampage boys have had a very hardworking and successful weekend so far. Going 3-0 against teams that, on paper, we should not have success against. So, boys have worked really hard. It's not always been pretty, but it's been good hockey. The boys haven't backed down from anyone, so hopefully we'll see a whole lot more of that this morning. I think they got some rest yesterday and are ready to finish this weekend strong before they go get on their flights home. Love to see us finish this weekend really strong, going into the Thanksgiving break here for this next week. It has been very, very well earned by our boys. I'd like to say thanks again to everybody for all the birthday wishes yesterday. You guys are very kind. Today is actually my birthday, despite what Eddie may have said yesterday, but the whole group here was so awesome and threw together a party for me. So a bunch of us got together and had a good time hanging out last night. I probably don't say it enough, but I really like you people. Yeah, I said you people. You Rampage people. A lot of great families. Great kids. That was one thing we talked about last night, was the fact that it's really easy to get excited when these kids do well, because they're such great kids that anytime anyone on our team does well, it's just super easy to be excited and happy for them. So that's a nice thing, and a lot of teams don't have that. So appreciate the families and the kids that you guys are raising in our little Rampage family that we have going. Love it. It's good stuff. All right. That's as sentimental as I'm going to be. Now we'll move on to hockey. So we're up against the Junior Canes this morning, and their Junior Canes team is their record on the season is very up and down, and they have beaten some very good teams. And gosh, already just this weekend, they won a game 9-7 against the Indiana Elite. So basically what I'm saying is I do not expect this to be any kind of a pushover game. Not that we ever expect that, but I have a feeling that they're going to come out swinging. They probably have a lot of shooters on their team, apparently. And so it's going to be a battle. Time just about expired on our warm-up period. We'll start collecting some pucks here soon. Boys over getting their pep talks in. Getting ready to go here for period number 1. pep talk complete. Let's see who we got lined up to get us going here to start period number 1. Out on the ice, we're going to go with the same. Oh my gosh! Out on the ice, looks like we're going to go with the same line we started with last night, which was very successful, or yesterday afternoon, I should say. We've got Sarver, Judkins, Flanagan, Bisley, and Bennett out. Ryder, Shields in net. You guys. I don't think he's here. All right, here we go. Getting ready to start period number 1. Judkins to take the draw. Rampage win the draw. Bisley wrangles it in. He's going to skate to the near side, takes the red line, dumps it in on net. Kane's poking back out again. Then he gets dumped back in. Rampage has to tag. Sarver's going to go in on the forecheck. Kane sent it up the far side wall. Flanagan gets there, drives it down into the corner. Feeds the puck up to Bennett at the point. Shot doesn't make it through. Kane's coming back the other way. Into the Rampage zone. And Shields is going to cover it up. So we'll get a stoppage. We'll get a face-off in the Rampage zone with 16:29 in period number 1. Out on the ice, we've got Whittingham, Friedis, Dormer, Butler, and White. Puck goes to the far wall. It's going to come back behind the Rampage net. White sends it up the boards on the near side. Canes pinch in, drive it down low back behind the net. Feed it out front, ends up on the near side wall. White flips it up in the air. Whittingham's going to knock it down, tries to center the pass, and now it just gets overskated. It's going to come back to White. White sends a stretch pass across to Friedis. Friedis is into the zone, makes a move down low. Quick shot, goaltender makes a save. And we have a penalty coming to the Canes for a hook. John Jack Friedis on the way in draws the penalty. 15:57 left in period number 1. Rampage are going to be on the power play. Out on the ice to get us started on the power play, we've got Drexel, Whitted, Judkins, Root, and Butler. Rampage win the draw. Up to the point. Root's going to send it down the wall. Canes are in there. Gets tied up on the wall. Comes back to Root, who chips it. Gets knocked down, comes out to neutral ice. Butler wrangles it in. Sends it over to Root on the far side. Root's going to set up behind his net. He's going to drop it for Butler. Rampage regroup. Butler out from behind his net. Sends it up to Root on the far side. Root makes a move. He's into the Cane zone. Skates it down into the corner. Things get tied up down low. Still tied up, and now up and off the wall. Puck comes up and out of the zone. 1:10 left on the power play, and Rampage are going to get a line change. Up to Root on the far side. He's going to send it back to Butler. Butler to Friedis on the near side, over to Root on the far side. He skates through. He's into the Cane zone. Looking for White. White keeps it in at the blue line. Down into the corner. Banyan feeds it across looking for Friedis. Goes off a stick, ends up the near side. Puck flips up in the air. And then Root holds it at the blue line, sends a pass across. It's intercepted by the Canes. They feed it through. They're into the Rampage zone. And White is going to put somebody into the corner. And that player is down and hurt. And White with the shot. That's going to go in. 14-13 left in the period. That's going to be a power play goal to Trent White, and we have a Canes player down and injured. It honestly didn't look like that big of a hit, but he must have gone into the boards funny. So we've got a Canes player down. They're going to check on him. It didn't look like that big of a check, but he must have just gone into the boards funny. Don't ever want to see anybody hurt. But it certainly wasn't any kind of a, I mean, it certainly wasn't a dirty shot, and it didn't look like that heavy of a shot, but the player went down and kind of slid into the boards. And all right, they've got the player up off the ice. He's being helped. I'm going to take a minute and let the junior Canes get their player off the ice. $14-13 left in period number one. Rampage are up by 1 based on the power play goal to Trent White. Out on the ice to take over, we've got Rahosian, Foster, Roberts, Espirito, and Fewer. It's going to take us a second to get everybody resituated. Rampage win the draw over to Espirito on the near side. Up the wall, Rahosian tied up on the wall. Looks like Canes are coming back the other way. Quick move to the far side. Shot taken. Shields with the save. Foster's going to clear the puck. Comes up and out of the zone. Canes send it across to the far side. And puck bouncing around. And shot taken and Shields with the save. He's going to hang on. 13:44 left in period number one. We're going to face off in the Rampage zone. Out on the ice, we've got Sarver, Judkins, Flanagan, Bennett, and Bisley. Canes win the draw. Shot goes through. Shields with the save. Puck comes back out front. Another shot. Bodies in the way. Bounces way up in the air. It's bouncing around. Bennett's going to knock it down. He clears the zone with it. Flanagan picks it up, feeds it up to Sarver. Sarver's into the zone. Gets tied up on the boards on the far side. Puck doesn't come out. Judkins dumps it deep. Flanagan's back behind the net. He's going to do some work in the far corner. Flanagan feeds it up to the point to Bennett. Back down the wall to Judkins. Judkins over to Flanagan. Flanagan takes a shot from the blue line. Skates in the way. Canes have the puck. They're going to feed it up the boards on the far side. comes out of the zone. Bennett over to Bisley. And the puck bounces, I guess, out and then back in the zone. And we've got a whistle for offside. 12:57 left in period number 1. Face-off outside the Rampage zone. On the ice, we've got Banyan, Whitted, Drexel, Butler, and White. Rampage win the draw. Butler across to White on the far side. Back through off of Whitted's skate and then into the zone. And Whitted holds the blue line. Down low, Banyan for Drexel. And beautiful feed out front and a beautiful goal by Carter Drexel. And Drexy puts a Rampage on the board a second time. So 12:45 left in period number 1. Rampage go up by a score of 2-0. And I believe we're going to leave the same line out on the ice for now. Canes win the draw. Cross to the near side. Butler with the steal. And then Drexel's going to flip it into the zone and go for a change. Puck comes up but not out. It came out, but Rampage tag up. Canes pick it up. Far side, down in the corner. They're going to skate up the far wall. Whittingham picks it up. He's going to send it up to Dormer. Dormer across looking for Freitas. Freitas tries to wrangle it back in. He does so. Sends it down low looking for Whittingham. Whittingham back behind. Puck gets deflected. It comes up and out of the zone. Fewer has to race back for it. He's got a player on. Stops behind and sends it up the far side wall. Freitas to Whittingham. Whittingham makes a move into the zone. Threads the needle. And picks up the puck back behind, feeds it out front. I think the net came off. Fewer sends it down the boards. Dormer to Freitas. Puck comes up, and now Canes unable to clear. Fewer holds it right at the blue line. Down the wall on the far side, tied up on the far wall. Freitas picks it up. Turns, sends it looking for Espirito. Espirito feeds it down to Sarver. Sarver with a shot. Johnny Sarver with the goal. 11:27 left in period number 1. And in a hurry, Rampage go up by a score of 3-0. Johnny Two Guns gets goal number 3. Out on the ice, we've got Sarver, Judkins, Flanagan, Bisley, and Bennett. Canes pick up the puck. They're going to dump it in on the far side. Shields leaves it for Bisley. Puck comes to the near side, up the boards. Shot from up high, and Shields with a save. And then Canes pick up the rebound. They're going to put that one in. So Canes with a quick answer to the third goal. So 11:16 left in period number 1. Scores 3-1. Out on the ice, we've got Roberts, Foster, Rahosian, Butler, and White. Puck bouncing around. Foster sends it back into the zone. Canes get there first, feed it back behind the net. Butler chips it around the boards to the far side. Foster's going to get there. Puck doesn't come out. Canes keep it in. Center of the pass, deflects up and over to the near side wall. Foster's going to pick it up. He skates to the far side, chips it into the zone. He's going to give chase down low into the corner. Foster picks up the puck, tries to feed it through. Goaltender makes a save. Espirito sends it down low. Looks like Canes have the puck. They send it up and out. That should be icing. And we get a whistle. 10:31 left in period number 1. Faceoff's going to be back in the junior Canes zone. Out on the ice, we've got Drexel, Banyan, Whitted, Espirito, and Fewer. And we've got an open door Our scorekeeper was not paying attention. Too busy updating Instagram. And apparently the linesman wasn't paying attention either, because that's actually part of their job. Tied up on the draw. It's down low in the corner. Drexel gets it, drops it back behind. Whitted goes back behind the net, feeds it back, looking for Drexel. Puck comes up on the far side. Canes out of the zone, into the Rampage zone. They're going to rim it around the boards to the near side. Centering pass. Battle for the puck down low. Gets sent around to the far side, up to the point. Fewer's going to pick it up. He skates out with a head of steam. Comes through, feeds it down low. He's going to give chase into the zone. Rampage get a change. Partial change, anyway. Bennett picks it up down low. Sends it up the far side. Goes off of a stick and into the zone. Play will continue. Freitas chasing, and the Canes send it up. It's bouncing on Bennett. Comes out of the zone. Bisley over to Bennett on the far side. Bennett sends it up the wall, off a Dormer's stick. It's into the zone. Whittingham's going to give chase down low. Puck up the far wall, sent back down to Freitas. Fed across to the near side. Bisley pinching in, sends it up the wall for Whittingham. Whittingham sends it back down low. Canes are going to pick off that pass and dump it. Bennett turns with it, sends it up for Dormer. Off the stick, it's into the zone. He's going to give chase down low. Canes send up the boards on the near side. Freitas chips it in on the far side. Dormer gets in there, ties things up, keeps it down low. Rampage getting a couple fresh skaters out on the ice. Hook up the far side, and now it's out of the zone. Doesn't connect. That should be icing, and it is indeed. 8:47 left in period number one. We're going to face off back in the junior Canes zone. Out on the ice, we've got Sarver, Judkins, Root, Butler, and White. And we're trying to fix the nets down here. We had some replacement pegs, it looks like, and I can attest to the fact that these nets, at least earlier this weekend, were absolutely horrible. Puck rims around to the near side boards. Up the near wall and stays in the zone for now. Now the Canes come out of the zone with it. Sarver turns it around, sends it in from the red line. Canes goaltender holds it up. Canes send it off the wall. I'm sorry, Judkins sends it deep from the wall. Root picks it up down low. Up to the far side to White. White turns around, sends it back. It's going to roll to the near side corner. Up the wall on the near side, Butler sends in a shot from the point. Goes up and over. Down low for Flanagan. Judkins comes in to help out behind the net. Judkins with the steal. Tries to center the pass. It comes up to Butler. His shot goes off of a shin pad. Comes out of the zone. White sends it across to Flanagan. Flanagan tries to backhand it in. Canes chip it back the other direction. And now they're going to turn and dump it into the Rampage zone. Butler picks it up on the near side. Going to change direction with it. Feeds it over for Foster. It comes back to Butler. Gets tied up down low back behind the net. Shot. Shields with the save. Puck comes up and out of the zone. Canes regroup. They have to tag up. They're going to turn and dump it back in. Shields is going to play it around the boards. It goes up and hits the netting and goes out of play. So 7:12 left in period number one. We'll get a face-off in the Rampage zone. Out on the ice, we've got Whitted, Banyan, Drexel, Espirito, and Fewer. Puck goes to the far wall. Fewer flips it up off the glass. It bounces out of the zone. A little back and forth at neutral, and now Canes have the puck. They drop it back into their zone. Drexel with a quick poke check. Canes regroup, send it across to the far side. Puck comes up and out of the zone. Play will continue. Whitted has to come back for it. Picks it up back behind his net. Whitted backhands it up for Drexel. Drexel off the wall, back to Whitted. Whitted into the zone. Skates to the far side. Drops it in the corner, but there's a Canes player there. Drexel picks it up back in his zone. He's going to turn with it. Sends a pass across to the near side to Dormer. Dormer up, dropping it for Banyan. Banyan chases it down into the corner. He drops it for Dormer. Banyan with the centering pass. Nobody home at the moment. Canes clear. Bennett picks it up. Up to Whittingham, who kicks it over to Dormer. Dormer turns, fires it into the zone. Freitas is going to give chase from the near side. Canes turn with it. Goes up the wall, but not out. Bennett holds it at the point. Dormer goes chasing it in, back down low. He feeds it up to Whittingham on the near side. Puck rims around to the far side boards. Freitas is going to get in there. Feeds it back down again for Dormer. Dormer back behind the net. Centering pass comes up to Freitas off a stick, and now Canes have it. They're out of the zone, coming the other way. And down low into the corner. Bisley over to Bennett. Bennett up to Freitas. Freitas to Whittingham. Whittingham's into the zone, makes a little move. Tries to stuff it. Goaltender makes a save. Rampage getting a change. Canes coming back the other direction. Into the Rampage zone. A quick kick, and now Roberts has it. He turns around. He's coming the other way. And loses the handle just before he crosses the blue line. Roberts turns, feeds it over to Judkins. Judkins into the zone, looking for Starver. Pass was picked off, and now a quick poke check, and Canes are going to dump it into the Rampage zone. Puck goes around to the far side. Butler picks it up down low, skates back behind his net to regroup. He comes skating out on the far side, sends it over to White. White up the boards looking for Judkins. Puck gets stuck on the boards. Still a pile up on the boards on the far side. And now Canes are going to pull it out of the pile. They send it back into their own zone, off the boards, back into the zone. Starver sends it off the boards. Canes regroup in their own zone with it. Rampage getting the change. Canes make a move. They're into the zone. Quick poke check, and now Fewer has the puck. He's going to send it up, but not out. Shot from the point goes off the side of the net. White picks it up down low. Feeds it up the boards. Ref was in the way. Puck stays in the zone, and now Roberts is going to turn. He clears it. Bounces around. Canes have to tag up. Fewer's going to pick it up. He makes a move. He's into the zone on the far side. Fewer sends it to Flanagan. Flanagan with a shot. Goaltender with a save. 3:57 left in period number one. Faceoff will be in the junior Canes zone. On the ice, we've got Foster, Flanagan, Root, Espirito, and Fewer. Rampage win the draw to Fewer, over to Espirito. And that one's going to go in. I think it was Tommy Flanagan got that one. So 3:51 left in period number one. And on the goal that Flanagan picks up right out front, Tommy Flanagan gets goal number 4, making the score 4-1. Looks like we'll leave the same line out as before. We've got Root, Foster, Flanagan, Espirito, and Fewer. Looks like we're going to have a change of goaltender for the junior Canes. Canes win the draw. Over to the near side. Pass to Root, or comes to Root. Root's going to skate into the zone. Takes a quick shot, deflects up into the netting, and out of play. Out on the ice, we've got Drexel, Banyan, Whitted, Bennett, and Bisley face off in the junior Canes zone. Puck goes down low into the corner. and out of the zone. Kane's into the Rampage zone. Centering pass gets deflected. Now it's bouncing around out front. Drexel picks it up. Whitted's going to chase it down. He's out of the zone. Whitted into the zone. Loses the handle. Tries to backhand the pass. Puck ends up on the far side wall. Canes are going to dump it into the zone. Bisley chases it down. He turns with it. Sends it up to Banyan on the far side. A little back and forth. Whitted picks it up and neutral ice. He's into the zone. Quick move down low. Whitted's, looking for Whittingham. Just didn't quite connect. Puck rims around to the far side. Freitas gets in there, tie things up on the far wall. He pulls it off the wall. Freitas turns. Shot. Goaltender makes a save. Puck comes up but not out. Freitas pulls it out of the air, keeps it in the zone, sends it across looking for Whittingham. Goes off a stick and into the corner. Whittingham sends it down low. Dormer ties things up in the corner down low. Whittingham comes back, picks up the puck, sends it out front to Freitas, just doesn't connect. Good look. Kane's coming back the other way. Puck into the zone. Out to the near side wall. Kane's down low in the corner. They send it out and across. Net is off. That horrible, horrible net came off, and we finally get a whistle for a stoppage. 2:08 left in period number 1. Face-off will be in the Rampage zone. Even with the different pegs, the net is still terrible, awful. Out on the ice, we've got Judkins, Rahosian, Sarver, Fewer, and Espirito. Back into the corner. Fewer tries to send it up the wall, gets stuck down low. Comes up to Rahosian. He sends it up and out of the zone to the far side. Canes dump it in from the far side. Shields holds it up. Sends it over looking for Espirito. The puck comes right back to him. And now Judkins picks it up down low, feeds it up the wall for Sarver. Sarver clears the zone. Canes turn it around the other direction, back into the zone. Fewer picks it up down low. He's going to skate it to the near side wall. Off the wall, quick shot deflects up into the netting and out of play. 1:30 left in period number 1. Out on the ice, we've got Bennett, Bisley, Flanagan, Foster, Roberts. Puck fed across to the far side. Flanagan's going to skate it up and out. He takes the red line, dumps the puck in. Rims around to the near side. Canes clear the puck. They're up and out of the zone, into the Rampage zone. And Bisley with the takeaway. Pass across, and now Flanagan's in on the far side. Drops it for Roberts. Shot goes up and over, ends up in the near side corner. Bisley feeds it down low for Foster. Nope, that's Flanagan. Roberts comes back into the zone for it. Turns on the wall on the near side, sends it up, but not quite out. And now it's going to come out. Flanagan takes the red line. He's going to dump it into the Cane zone and go for a change. Rampage. Some fresh skaters out. Kane's coming back in. Shot goes just wide of the net, off the side, and now gets fed to the far wall. Foster picks it up, skates it up and out, and he's going to take the red line. He's going to go for a change. Drexel wrangles it in, turns up at the point, sends a pass across. It goes off the wall. Banyan tries to send it up the wall. Kane's coming back the other way. We got it one-on-one into the zone. Canes make a move. Trent White puts a body on and takes the puck away. Feeds it up, looking for Banyan. Goes off his stick into the zone. Canes pick it up down low. They're going to rim it around the boards to the far side. And time expires on period number 1. So your score after 1 is 4-1 in favor of your Colorado Rampage. Boys coming over to talk to Coach. Not a whole lot to say after that one other than, well, we hope that player is okay from the Canes that went off the ice, and Rampage done a really good job of putting the puck in the back of the net so far. So hopefully we'll get a whole lot more of that. Whole lot of mo. The boys definitely need to keep leaning forward, keep the intensity up. They cannot take their foot off the gas. As we've seen, this Canes team is capable of scoring quite a few. So we've got to keep the intensity up. Just keep playing hockey. Out on, thanks, Eddie. Out on the ice, we've got Judkins, Sarver, Flanagan, Bennett, and Misley to get us started. And, of course, Ryder Shields between the pipes. Canes win the draw back into their own zone, send it up the near side boards. That doesn't connect. They wave off the icing. Puck's going to go into the far corner, up the wall. Canes center the pass across to the near side. They pick up the puck down low. Bisley pokes it to the near side wall, and we have a penalty coming to the Rampage. Looks like it's coming to Bisley. 16:36 left in period number 2. Rampage are going to be on the penalty kill. Out on the ice to get us started on the PK, we've got White, Butler, Whitted, and Whittingham. Canes win the draw up to the point. Cross to the far side. Back up to the blue line. Over to the near side circle. Shot goes up, ends up back behind the net. Butler's going to send it up and out. Nice clear. Canes pick it up. Whitted in on the forecheck. And try to take away some time and space. Canes send it across to the far side. Whittingham with a nice poke check in the corner, and now puck bouncing around, and Butler's going to turn and fire at the distance. 1:22 left on the penalty kill. Rampage are getting a line change. Robertson on the forecheck. Canes across to the near side. They're going to skate through, dump it into the zone. Shields holds it up, slows it down. Puck gets stuck in the far corner. Canes feed it back to the far side. Back across to the near side. Shot taken. Rahojian gets his body in front of that one. Looked like it got him right in the boy parts. A shot, and Shields with the save. Shields with the second save. Nice movement side to side on that one. And Rampage unable to clear. Canes send it. A shot that deflects just wide. Comes up out front. Ends up back in the corner again. And Rahojian is hurting. He's blocked a couple of shots on this shift. I think he took one right in the boy parts. Canes skate it down the near side. Send it back up to the point. Back down the near side wall. Back up to the point. Cross to the far side. Shot bouncing around out front. And now Shields is going to hang on to it. 14:47 left in the period. 12 seconds on the PK. Out on the ice, we've got Frieda, Stormer, White, and Butler. And White picks it up, sends it up but not out. Puck comes down low into the corner. Dormer's going to try to trap it down low. Feeds it across. Rampage are back at 5. Shot from up high. Deflects up and over. Shields with the save. Puck back into the corner. Butler ties things up down low. Dormer gets in there to help out. Sends the puck up the wall. Friedis wrangles it in over for Whittingham. Whittingham coming through with speed. One-on-one shot. Gets deflected wide of the net. Puck goes to the far corner. Up and out. White back to Butler. Over looking for Banyan. Pucks into the zone. Bouncing around. Now Canes have it back. They're coming back the other way. Centering pass goes through, ends up in the near corner. Puck comes out front. Shields has to get a piece of it and makes second save. Up the far wall. It's going to come back to White, who's going to rip it around to the near side. Banyan chips it up and out. Canes have to regroup and tag up. Across the far side, pass comes in, it goes on net, and Shields is going to hang on. And the ref's telling him to play it. As an official, you're not allowed to do that, but that has been the case, at least in this rink. Puck's going to come out, gets poked a little bit back and forth. Now it's into the Rampage zone on the near side. Canes have it in neutral ice. They have to tag up. Sent across to the far side, dumped it into the corner. White picks it up, sends it up off the glass, comes out of the zone, back into the zone on the far side. Shot, and Butler eats that one. Puck on the far wall, tied up. Whitted gets a stick on it. He's going to turn and fire up, but not out. And now White's going to clear it up and out, and that'll be icing, but we'll get a chance to get a change. 12:34 left in period number 2. We've got a face-off in the Rampage zone. On the ice, we've got Espirito, Fewer, Flanagan, Sarver, and Judkins. Tied up. Bouncing around, sent across ice to the far side wall. Puck up the far side. Canes send the pass across, sticks in the way, and now it's going to come up and out. Tied up on the near side wall. Sarver's going to send it in. He's also going to give chase down low. Canes send the puck up the far wall, unable to clear. Flanagan with a nice stick to keep it in the zone. Tied up down low. Sarver gets in there, feeds the puck out front, and we're going to get a penalty called against Tommy Flanagan for a hook, which I don't like that call at all. I didn't think that was a good call. Out on the ice to get us started on the PK with 11:59 left in period number 2. We've got Bennett, Bisley, Whitted, and Whittingham. Canes win the draw, up to the point. Down the wall. Steal by Whittingham. He's going to turn with it. He chips it up and out of the zone. He's going to send it the distance. Rampage will get a couple of penalty killers changed out. Canes skate out of their zone, through neutral, into the Rampage zone on the near side. Puck down low, into the corner. Up to Roberts. Roberts turns and fires, and he's going to clear it. Canes come back for it into their own zone. Foster in on the forecheck. Pass across, goes off of a skate, bounces in the near side. And then Butler's going to turn and fire it out of the zone. Just over a minute left on the penalty kill. Canes goaltender holds it up, leaves it for his defenseman. Canes skated out of the near side. They're out of their zone, into the neutral. Quick poke check, and the puck ends up down low into the corner. It's going to come up to the blue line. Canes hold it at the blue line. Cross to the near side. Shot taken. Shields with the save. Second shot goes up and over. Ends up on the near side wall. White's going to turn and fire at the distance. 37 seconds left on the penalty kill. Canes bring it up out of the zone, cross the red line. They're into the Rampage zone. The poke check's going to send it back out. Canes have to regroup and tag up. Freitas with a steal. He's in the zone over to Dormer on the near side. Dormer just had it bouncing, rolling on him. Canes get the puck back. They're behind their own net. Send it up the far side wall. They're going to regroup, and we just have 6 seconds left on the penalty kill. Whittingham in, being an absolute pest, keep the puck down that end of the ice. Whittingham with a steal feeds it up for Drexel, and Rampage are back at 5. Flanagan's going to turn and dump it in. Thought that was icing, but they didn't call it that way. Puck goes to the far wall. Drexel pulls it out of the corner, comes back up the wall. Drexel gets in there, ties things up. And now Canes are going to send it around to the near side. Espirito back down the wall. Canes are now going to clear it. They send the pass across. Nice poke check by Fewer. And Drexel sends it off the wall. Canes change direction. Fewer has to come back into the zone for it, up to Drexel. Drexel feeds it up and out to Whitted. Whitted over, looking for Banyan. Just outside the reach, it goes into the zone. Banyan hustles into the corner and ties things up down low. Whitted comes in to help out. Whitted pulls it out of the pile. Skates up the wall, turns and fires, goes off a stick, just bounces way up in the air. Canes end up getting the puck back. And now it clears. Root ties things up. Puck comes back to Bisley. Bisley fires it across, goes off a stick, and Canes send it back the other direction. Puck down low to Bisley. Bisley feeds it up to Root. Root's got some time. He's got Sarver with him. Makes a move at the point, and then Sarver tries to fire. Puck goes off the side of the net and back behind. Comes up the near side wall. Root ties things up. It's going to come up to Butler at the point. Butler skates the blue line, takes a shot, goes wide of the net, ends up on the far side wall. Bisley feeds it back down the wall. It's bouncing around up the wall, and now Judkins is going to send it back down deep. Up the wall on the far side. It's going to takes a weird bounce, and White has to chase it back into his own zone. He turns with it, sends it up the far side wall. Puck gets poked back into the Rampage zone. Butler has to come back for it. Makes a move in the corner, and then he's going to feed it up the wall, looking for Roberts. Roberts turns with it, sends a pass across. Now Canes are going to pick it up in their own zone. Canes send it across to the far side. It's back into the Rampage zone now. White comes back, picks it up. He's going to skate behind his net. Passes it up and out, and I think that's going to be icing. And it is indeed. 7:40 left in period number 2, and we should go to an ice cut. So when we come back from the ice cut, we'll have 7 minutes, 40 seconds left in period number 2. Rampage are currently up by a score of 4-1, and the faceoff will be in the Rampage zone following the icing. And I'm going to take a break for about 10 minutes or so, rest my voice for this last half of the game, and we'll see you guys back in about 10. No. please. Thank you. All right, everybody, welcome back as we get ready to start the second half of the second period. Rampage currently up by a score of 4-1. 7 minutes and 40 seconds left in period number 2. And we should start with a face-off in the Rampage zone. Fresh sheet of ice that, again, still looks a little swampy. So, as we always expect, there's going to be some sticky pucks and some weird puck movement boys need to be ready for. And they need strong hands, strong sticks, which is a good method all the time, but particularly it's good philosophy all the time, but particularly when the ice is melty. Out on the ice, we've got Bisley, Bennett, Flanagan, Sarver, and Judkins to get us started for this second half of this second period. Ryder Shields in net. Puck goes back into the corner. Bennett's going to send it over to Bisley. Up the wall on the far side. Sarver gets there, and now puck's going to bounce up and out. And Flanagan pokes it. He's going to drop it into the zone. Flanagan over to Judkins. Judkins fans on the shot, takes a second shot. Goaltender makes a save. So we get a whistle. We have a stoppage, and we'll have a face-off in the Junior Canes zone. Same crew out as before. Tied up on the draw. It's going to come up the near side wall, but not out, and now Canes are going to clear it to the far side. Bisley knocks it down. He's going to dump it in from the far side. Canes send it up the near side wall. It's going to come out of the zone, and Butler sends it across to Bisley. Bisley chips it up off the wall. It's into the zone. It doesn't connect, and I think, they waved off icing. I would have thought they would have had it. Up to the point and out. White back into his zone for it, across to Butler. Butler up the wall. Canes coming back the other way. Feed to center. And now the puck ends up in the corner. Butler tries to send it up. And now it's going to bounce up and out. And Canes send it back in, but they have to tag up. Butler sends it across to White on the near side. White up the boards, and it goes into the Rampage bench and out of play. 6:29 left in period number 2. Face-off, it looks like it's going to go to the center dot. Out on the ice, we've got Dormer, Friedis, Whittingham, White, and Butler. Canes dump it in just wide of the net. White gets there. Puck gets sent back down low into the corner. Comes back to Butler. Butler's going to turn with it. Sends it across to White. White sends a stretch pass over, looking for Friedis. It doesn't connect. That's going to be icing. 6:05 left in period number 2. Face off in the Rampage zone. On the ice, we've got Espirito, Fewer, Drexel, Banyan, and Whitted. Rampage win the draw, chipped up and out of the zone. Banyan's giving chase. The goaltender plays it up into the netting and out of play. And Banyan, I didn't see what happened or how, but somehow ended up taking out the net and riding it back behind. I don't know if he got pushed into it. I don't know what happened, but same crew out as before. Banyan, Whitted, Drexel, Fewer, and Espirito. Linesmen are going to try to reset that net. Sometimes it's good that the net comes off easy. Rampage win the draw. Back to Banyan. He's going to chip it down low. Drexel out front. Oh, and Canes got a stick on it. Back into the Rampage zone. Canes are going to dump it down low. Rims to the far side. Up the far wall. Drexel gets a stick on it. He's going to clear the zone. Banyan giving chase back into the Canes zone. Drexel keeps it in. He's going to go for a change. Canes pick it up back behind their own net. They're going to skate to the far side. Across the red line into the Rampage zone now on the far side. Driven down low. Shot taken. Shields with the save. Puck comes back out front, and Espirito is going to pick it up. He turns, sends it off the wall, looking for Roberts. And Roberts is going to poke it into the zone. Canes turn around. Roberts gets the body, keeps it in the zone for now. Now Canes send it hard up and out. Back up to neutral ice. A little back and forth. Stuck on the wall on the far side. Ref is in the way. Puck comes up and out of the zone. Back to Bennett. Bennett's going to flip it up and deep. Root giving chase on the forecheck. Canes send it to the far side. And they're going to send it into the Rampage zone. Shields leaves it for Bennett. Up to Foster. Sorry, out of the zone. Canes coming back the other way. Into the Rampage zone on the far side. Canes down the wall on the far side. Shot taken, goes wide of the net, ends up on the near wall. Another shot taken, skates in the way, and now Ryder has to turn that one aside. Hook up and out of the zone. Canes send it back in. And we've got a penalty coming to the Rampage again for a hold. Good grief. 3:56 left in period number 2. Rampage are going to be back on the penalty kill. Out on the ice to get us started on the PK, we've got Frieda, Stormer, Bisley, and White. Up to the point. Canes feed it down the far wall. Sauced it across. It's going to come up and out of the zone. Canes have to tag up. Dormer pokes the puck to Friedis, who sends it back to White. White sends it hard up the boards into the Canes zone. It rims around to the far side. Dormer's in on the forecheck. I think one of the Canes player broke a stick, so we had to drop it. Canes skating up the near side into the Rampage zone. White gets there, sends it around to the far side. Canes hold it on the wall. And now Bisley's going to send it up the boards. It takes a weird bounce. It comes out. Canes back into their zone for it. Whitted on the forecheck. They send it up the near side. I think it went off a linesman. Canes have it back in their zone. Canes to the far side. Neutral ice to the Rampage zone on the far side. 1 minute left on the PK. And now White's going to clear it up in the distance. Canes regroup in their zone. Rampage getting some fresh PK skaters out there. Drexel's in on the forecheck. Canes back in their zone. Up the far side wall. And Canes are offside on their way in. So with 2:27 left in period number 2 and 32 seconds left on the penalty kill, we're going to face off outside the Rampage zone. On the ice, we've got Drexel, Sarver, Banyan, and Bennett. Canes win the draw. Bennett's going to clear it hard in the distance. 20 seconds left on the penalty kill. Canes goaltender holds it up behind the net. His defenseman's going to pick it up. Dropped it back into the Canes zone. They're going to skate to the far side. Just about 5 seconds left. Sent up the near side wall, and now Flanagan turns and clears it. And time expires. Rampage are back at 5. Puck comes up the far wall, out of the zone. Roberts gets a stick on it. It's going to come to the near side. Rahojian gets there, drives it down the wall, sends it out front. Now Kane's clear to the far side. That doesn't connect, and it should be icing if it has the distance. And it just barely does. Just barely. 1:33 left in period number 2. Face-off will be back in the Kane zone. Out on the ice, we've got Whittingham, Friedis, Dormer, Fewer, and Espirito. Rampage win the draw, up to Espirito, back down to Friedis. He's going to send it into the corner. Dormer's there, centers the pass. Friedis with a shot, goaltender with the save. Canes flip it up, but not out. Friedis holds it right at the blue line. Down into the corner. Back up to the blue line. Espirito wrangles it in at neutral ice. Sends it over to Dormer on the far side. Across for Fewer. Canes with a quick steal into the zone. Shot taken, goes wide, ends up on the near side wall. Over to the far side. Shot from the point. Body's in the way. And now Friedis wrangles in the puck. He skates up and out. He's into the Canes zone. Friedis takes a shot, goes up and over, ends up back behind. Canes with the puck. They're going to send it across to the far side. They're going to dump it into the Rampage zone in the far corner. Butler picks it up back behind. Sends it up the boards for Drexel. Off his stick into the zone. Trying to catch the Canes on a change. Canes pick up the puck down low. Send it around to the far side. They chip it up the boards and out. Knocked down. Bouncing around, and then it's going to end up in the near side boards. White sends it around to the far side to Butler. Butler up a wall, but not out. And now it's going to come back to White down low, and time expires on period number 2. So your score after 2 remains to be 4-1 in favor of the Rampage. Still seeing some good pressure in the Kane zone. That's what I like to see. Heavy on the forecheck, keeping them pinned down. They are getting some opportunities, and we need to make sure that we keep playing hard, like I said. Now is not the time to switch to all defensive hockey. Stay aggressive on the puck. Keep trying to create opportunities. And it would help if we can keep ourselves out of the penalty box as well. All right, out on the ice to get us started for period number 3. Ryder Shields in net. We've got Bisley, Bennett, Foster, Roberts, and Root to get us started. Haynes coming back the other way. They're into the Rampage zone. Shot deflects wide, ends up back behind. Puck sent up the boards to the near side. And Root pulls it off the wall. He's going to skate with it. He's out of the zone. Through neutral ice, into the Kane zone. Sends the puck back behind the net. And it ends up coming back to this near side corner. Canes send it back the other way. Roberts ties it up on the far wall. Puck bouncing around, and Whittingham's going to turn and fire it in the corner on the near side. Foster gets there, tries to wrap around, and ends up on the near side wall. Whittingham turns and fires. Puck deflects and bounces way up in the air, ends up on the far side wall. Canes send it up and through. They're into the Rampage zone. Shot taken. Shields gets a piece. It goes up and over. And now Friedis is going to pick it up, coming back the other way on the far side. Centers the pass up to Butler at the point. He makes a move. He's going to turn around, sends it across to White on the far side. Shot taken. Goaltender with the save. It ends up in the corner. Puck's down low. Friedis and Dormer are doing battle in there. Friedis pulls it out of the pile. Sends it up to White at the point. Back down the wall. Canes get there, unable to clear. Freitas holds the blue line, comes back to a Canes player, and now they're going to chip it up, way up in the air, and wrangle it in. Nice poke check by Butler. Sends it to the far side wall. White sends it up the wall. It comes back to him and still bouncing around. White wrangles it in. He's going to skate with it. Takes the red line. He's going to dump it in and allow the Rampage to get a change, and then he's going to go for a change. Comes back to Espirito. Espirito up the near side wall. Canes turn it around. They have to wait, so they're not offside. Puck comes back to Judkins up to Sarver. He's into the zone on the near side. Judkins just fans on the shot. And the ref gets in Sarver's way. Interference on the man in stripes. Puck comes back to Bennett. Sends it up the far side. Canes coming back the other direction. Chipped into the zone. They're going to chase it down low. And the puck goes on net, and Shields is going to cover. 14:25 left in period number 3. We'll get a face-off in the Rampage zone. Out on the ice, we've got Bisley, Bennett, Whitted, Banyan, and Drexel. Shot, Shields with the save. He's going to hang on. We'll get one mo, just like the foe. 14:21 left in period number 3. Puck goes to the far wall, tied up on the wall. Comes back to Bennett. Doesn't get much on it and unable to clear. Centering pass. Bouncing around out front. Puck on the near side wall. Drexel picks it up. He's going to turn with it. He feeds it up looking for Banyan. It bounces up. He has to knock it down. Now Drexel's going to turn and dump it. Canes send it across to the far side. Gets poked into the Rampage zone. White comes back for it. He's got a player on him. He sends it hard around the near side boards. Comes out of the zone. Canes have to tag up. Quick miscommunication. Canes pick it up, send the shot wide of the net. Center of the pass, it comes up and out of the zone. Canes turn around. They were offside, but they let them keep playing. Root pokes it up to the point just outside the zone. Canes have to tag up. White turns with it. Sends it up the far side wall. Deflects off a Root stick. It's into the zone. Verhoeven giving chase down low. He gets there. Dumps it into the corner. Foster's doing battle down low. Foster drives it back behind the net. I lost sight of the puck. Looks like it's in the near side corner. Not out of the zone. And now Canes get it. They're going to chip it up and out. Back into the Rampage zone. White's got to get there. He does so. Sends the puck up the far wall. Up to Freitas. Freitas leaves it for Dormer. Dormer skates it up and out. Puck goes to the far wall. Dormer drops it for Whittingham down low. Whittingham out front looking for Freitas. Puck ends up back in the near corner. Freitas picks it up. Sends the pass across to Fewer. Shot. Goaltender makes a save. It ends up down low in the corner. Dormer skates it off the wall. Backhands it. Goaltender makes a save. The puck gets cleared to the near side wall. Canes pick it up. They're going to skate it up and out of the zone. Into the Rampage zone. Whittingham turns, fires it up in the air, clears the zone with it. Rampage get a change. Canes dump it into the zone in the near side corner. Espirito's back for it. Up the wall for Sarver. Sarver clears the zone. And then Judkins over looking for Flanagan. Flanagan's into the zone. Shot taken. Goaltender makes a save. Sarver pokes it, keeps it down low. Up the wall to Flanagan. Flanagan takes a shot, goes off the body, ends up back on the wall. Flanagan ties it up on the wall on the far side. Canes are going to skate up the wall with it. They're out of the zone, across to the near side. Dump it into the Rampage zone. Bennett sends it up the wall. The far side, Flanagan tries to wrangle it in. That was a pretty clear cross-check, but no call. And the Canes are going to dump it in. Bisley picks it up, sends it up, but not out. And now Bisley's going to clear it. It's on net, so play will continue. Rampage get a change. Exactly 11 minutes left in period number 3. Canes send it up the far side, and we get a whistle for icing. 10 minutes, 51 seconds left in period number 3. We're going to face off in the Canes zone. On the ice, we've got Drexel, Whitted, Banyan, White, and Butler. Rampage win the draw up to the point. White sends it in from the point. It ends up on the near side. Whitted up to Butler. Butler takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save. Ends up in the corner on the far side. Canes clear it. And White knocks it down, gives it to Whitted. Whitted over to Drexel. Drexel's into the zone. Shot taken, deflects up into the netting and out of play. 10:29 left in period number 3. We'll get another face-off in the Canes zone. And I think we'll get a change. Out on the ice, we've got Root, Roberts, Foster, Butler, and White. Turned and fired, ends up in the far corner. Comes up to White. White skates to the top of the circle, shot taking, goaltender makes a save. We get a stoppage. We'll have another face-off in the Canes zone. 10:17 left in period number 3. Bounces way up in the air. It's going to come to the near side. Butler gets there. He's going to dump it into the zone. Rampage tag up. Canes send it up the far wall. Comes up to Root. Root backhands it down low into the corner. Out of the corner. Root turns, tries to fire, goes off a skate, ends up back in the corner. Roberts up the wall to Butler. Butler makes a move at the point. He's going to skate down the wall. Butler with the shot. Goaltender with the save. He's going to hang on. 9:44 left in the game. Face off the Junior Canes zone. Out on the ice, we've got Dormer, Freitas, Whittingham, Fewer, and Espirito. Puck down low in the corner. Canes rim it hard around the boards, up and out. Fewer sends it across for Whittingham. Whittingham chips it into the zone. Canes send it around to the far side. Up and out of the zone. They're into the Rampage zone on the far wall. Held up top, pass across to the near side. Shot goes wide of the net, ends up on the far side wall. Fewer picks it up. He clears it up to Freitas. Freitas over looking for Dormer. And now Canes are going to poke it up and out. Espirito has to rush back. Canes pick it up. Quick shot. Shields with the save. The rebound comes up to the blue line, and the Canes are going to dump it deep. Fewer picks it up, sends it up the wall on the near side. It comes up and out. They're waving off icing. Canes get back, send it across to the far side. Canes hold up in their own zone. Pass across, and now Bennett's going to turn with it. He chips it into the zone. And Canes take, that was a baseball bat swing. Come on, man. .8:25 left in the game, and I really am starting to get the impression that these refs are feeling sorry for the Junior Canes, and so they're not calling anything. Goaltender's going to cover it up. So we get a stoppage. We'll have a face-off in the Canes zone with 8:10 left in period number 3. Out on the ice, we've got Drexel, Banyan, Whitted, White, and Butler. Up to Whitted. Whitted takes a shot. Save. Quick shot. Body's in the way. It ends up down in the corner. Banyan's down there.
Sends it up to the point to White. White over to Butler. Butler takes a shot, goes off a body. It's going to come back to White at the blue line. He sends it down low for Banyan, up to Whitted. Whitted with the shot. Goaltender with the save. Puck bouncing around out front. And White's going to poke it down the wall. Banyan sends it down for Drexel, and we have a stoppage for... Is the net off? Oh, we've got a player injured, I think. Saw a Canes player coming off. Looks like he's hurting, but I did not see what happened or when. Out on the ice, we've got Foster, Root, Roberts, Butler, and White. Up to the point. White sends it back down the wall. It's going to rim around to the near side. Up to the blue line. Puck bouncing around. Root back into the zone with it. Root wrangles it in. He takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save. Back down low. Goalie plays it into the corner. Roberts drives it down low. He gets there. Centers the pass. Foster with a shot. Goalie with the save. It ends up in the near corner. And now the Canes are going to turn and clear it. I believe play will continue. White has to come back for it. White makes a move in the corner, skates behind his net, sends it over the near side for Butler. Butler carries it up the wall, leaves it for Foster. Foster to Roberts. Roberts dumps it into the zone. Rampage getting a change. Canes hold it up behind their net. Into the zone on the near side, up and out, and now Whittingham across for Friedis, bouncing around. Canes have the puck back. They send it up to Dormer. He holds, waits, and tried to wait it out, but Rampage are offside. 6:30 left in period number 3. We're going to face off outside the Rampage zone. Out on the ice, we've got Whittingham, Dormer, Friedis, Fewer, and Bennett. Canes with it in their zone. Send it up the ice. It's into the Rampage zone and into the corner. Up the wall. Dormer's going to pick it up. He sends it across to Whittingham. Whittingham's across the red line. He's into the Canes zone. Centers the pass. Goaltender has to make a save on it. It ends up back on the near side wall. Friedis sends it down low for Dormer. Puck comes up and out front. Whittingham picks it up. It gets flipped into the zone by Dormer. Rampage getting the change. Canes set up behind their net. 5 minutes and 50 seconds left in period 3. Puck comes out to Bisley. Bisley skates to the near side. Into the zone. Quick shot. Goaltender sends it back into the corner. It's tied up down low. Puck bounces across to the far side. Canes pick it up. Coming back the other way. Pass across to the near side. They're going to dump it into the Rampage zone. Puck goes up the far wall. Gets poked up to Flanagan. He chips it up and out of the zone. Canes send it back in hard. And we get a whistle for icing. So, with 5 minutes and 12 seconds left in period number 3, we're going to face off in the Canes zone. On the ice, Espirito, Butler, Whitted, Banyan, Drexel. Puck rims around to the near side. Canes are going to skate it over to the far side. Up and out. Espirito with the steal. He's going to dump it back in. Puck back behind the net. It's a near side corner. Canes send it up, and now they're out of the zone with it. Near side wall. Whitted picks it up, sends it across for Butler. Butler skates up and through, makes a move. He's into the zone. Butler threads the needle. Shot taken. Goalie makes a save. Goalie makes a save. We get a stoppage. 4:36 left in period number 3. Out on the ice, we've got Foster, Root, Rahojan, Bisley, and Bennett. To the far wall, stuck on the wall. Now Canes are going to come up and out of the zone with it. They dump it into the Rampage zone on net. Shields knocks it to the side. And then it's going to come up and out of the zone. Canes send it back in. Bisley picks it up, feeds it through. Canes coming back on the other side. They send it in just a little bit behind the red line. They're going to whistle that for icing. Sometimes it can be subjective based on your vicinity of the red line, and he was just a little outside. 4:14 left in period number 3, face-off in the Cane zone. On the ice, we've got Rahojan, Foster, Root, Bisley, and Bennett. Puck gets cleared way up in the air. Bisley's going to have to race. He's got a player on him. Biz ties things up in the corner. Bennett comes in. Bisley picks it up, sends it up the wall. Root's going to pick it up. He skates with it, makes a quick move, and now Canes have it back in their zone. Cross ice to the far side. Back to the near side, into the Rampage zone. Bisley tries to feed it up, still stuck down in the corner. Biz feeds it up the wall, up to Root. Root over to Rahojan. Rahojan skates through. Quick shot deflects up into the, oh my gosh, up into the light, and the light is broken. There are pieces of glass raining down on the ice. You don't see that very often, my friends. Probably need a broom or a shovel or something out here. We do have some staffers, or the linesmen, cleaning it up. And we do have a shovel coming out so they can try to So what's really interesting is that as I'm looking around the rink at the lights, they're actually really well covered by a metal cage. So I'm guessing that was like a 1 in a million shot to direct that light bulb. But we get nice cleaned up. They got to get the door closed. And we'll have 3:32 left in period number 3, face off in the Cane zone. On the ice, we've got Dormer, Whittingham, Freitas, Fewer, and White. Tied up on the draw. Freitas gets there, pulls it out of the pile. He's going to drive it down low. Cross to the far side. Dormer with the shot. Goaltender with a save. Puck is loose, and I think he must be on top of it, and so we get a stoppage. Oh, sorry, folks. I think I'll survive the next 3 minutes and 21 seconds, although I may not sound like it. Same crew out as before. Puck down low in the corner. Canes send it to the far side. They're going to skate up the far wall. Pass across to the near side. Gets poked in the corner on the far side. White turns with it up the wall. Pushes it up the wall, and now Canes send it back. Off the wall. Shot taken. Shields gets a piece. It bounces up into the netting. Over the glass. Out of the rink. 2:58 left in period number 3. We'll get a face-off in the Rampage zone. Out on the ice, we've got Sarver, Flanagan, Judkins, Butler, and Espirito. Puck comes across to the near side. Sarver backhands it, sends it up and out of the rink. takes a check from behind into the boards. Play is going to continue. Butler picks it up. He's going to skate back behind his net to the near side. Makes a move to Sarver. Sarver sends it across. Judkins wrangles it in over to Flanagan. Flanagan's into the zone. Puck gets poked in the corner. Now Kane's coming back the other way. Butler picks it up in neutral ice. He takes the red line. He's going to send it in hard. It goes off of a player into the corner on the near side. Quick steal by Judkins. Centering pass to Drexel. Puck ends up down low in the corner. Drexel gets in there, makes a move out front. Bouncing around, the goaltender's going to cover it up. And we get a cross-check after the whistle. Banyan's just standing there. Cross-check followed by a cross-check when he's down on the ice. But as we've established, we will have no more power plays this game, apparently, for the Rampage. 2 minutes and 13 seconds left. Period number 3. On the ice, we've got Drexel, Whitted, Banyan, Bisley, and Bennett. Puck goes to the far wall. Stuck on the wall. Now Canes are going to chip it out to neutral ice. Bisley has to come back for it. It's rolling on him. Skates it to the far side. Whitted pulls it off the wall. Feeds it across and through. That doesn't connect. Takes a weird bounce, and it's going to be icing. Fun fact I have failed to mention, Kyle Bisley, his birthday is tomorrow. That young man will turn 17 tomorrow, which officially makes him the youngest player on our team. And happy birthday, Kyle, tomorrow. Out on the ice, we've got Foster, Roberts, White, Root, and Fewer. Puck to the far wall, down low in the corner. Canes pick it up, they send it down. Rampage with an injured player down. And Root touches up. So Foster gets up, so they're not going to stop it. A lot of back and forth. Kane's coming back the other way. Going to skate it to the far side. Shot gets deflected up into the netting and out of play. Minute and 20 seconds left in the game. Face off in the Rampage zone. On the ice, we've got Dormer, Whittingham, Rahosian, Espirito, and Butler. What did I miss?
So
what did I miss?
The face-off, it gets cheap shot in front money. The linesman saw it. The head ref did not see it. So the linesman actually did
okay,
the
so
right
they're
thing and told the head ref.
Oh,
So
is
the head
he?
ref's calling the penalty.
Okay. Gotcha. I saw him
Second
down. I
time
didn't see what happened,
The
but
second time the kid did it to him. He did it
Ah,
down here
gotcha.
to Armani, and then he did it again here.
okay.
This time it's worse.
Okay. Oh, and they gave him a major. So, okay. So what I missed is apparently on the face-off, the Canes player took a cheap shot at Foster. That's why Foster was down and hurt. And they have assigned that player a 5-minute major, and he's ejected from the game. Rampage will be on the power play, so I do sit corrected. 1 minute, 20 seconds left in the game. Rampage have a 5-minute power play. On the ice to get us started, we've got Rahosian, Dormer, Whittingham, Espirito, and Butler. Up to the point to Butler. Butler feeds it back down the wall. Canes get it. They're going to clear. Shields is going to leave it for Butler. Butler skates out from behind the net over to Espirito on the near side. Pass across. Rahosian into the zone, down low on the wall, into the corner. Tied up down low. Dormer picks it up. Dormer up to Butler. Butler over to Bennett. Bennett doing work down low in the corner. Whittingham pulls it out of the pile. He's going to turn with it. Up to Butler, over to Dormer. Dormer takes a shot up high, goes off the body, and ends up on the near side wall and comes out of the zone. Whittingham comes back for it, sends it across to the far side. Canes get there, shot taken. Puck bounces back out to Dormers. Just 23 seconds left in the game. Bennett back behind his net. He's going to regroup, send it up the far side. Butler carries it through, over to Sarver. Sarver takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save. Comes up to Bennett. Bennett turns, takes a shot down low. Goalie makes a save. It's back behind the net. Bennett in the corner, 1 second, and time expires on the game. So your score after 3 periods is 4-1 in favor of your Colorado Rampage, and I'm very excited to announce a sweep. Rampage went 4-0 this weekend, and on paper, we should not have won a single game, which makes me all the more proud and impressed by our boys this weekend. And now that my wish has come true, I can let everybody know that when we were having our party last night and I made my birthday wish, I wished for a suite. And I got what I wanted. All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I hope you all have a fantastic Thanksgiving. Hope the boys get some good rest, some good food, and some good time with their families. And we will see you guys back in Monument in a couple of weeks. Everybody travel safe. Who's here? Like I said, happy birthday, Kyle Bisley, for tomorrow. And we will see you guys soon. Thank you.